Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, and you are my companion. You are my everything, O Lord of Lords. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are in the Narada's way of divine as usual, and we are talking about the means of love, and some suggestions has been given how to attain the supreme love. We have read the verse number 35. That two ways, tattu vishayatyagat, sangatyagatcha. Vishaya means the sense objects, the objects of the world which distracts our mind from the divine and takes us to the world and worldliness. Sangatyagat, vishayatyagat, association of the sense object and also its attachment. One time people enjoying anything is not bad, but mind leans for enjoying it again and again and again and again. And then it makes a samskara or a deep impression. And that deep impression is very difficult to take out. But we make the mark deep, 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 and then to wipe that mark is again sadhana. That's why, as we are reading in the meditation and spiritual life every night, Jyotish Sarananda Maharaj, he says, spiritual life, those who are not in the path, when they first start, it becomes very exciting and also see an immediate change. Wow, I can do meditate. I felt good. I was all the time, whole day I was meditating. And then after you go little deep, then problem comes. Then churning of the mind and the samskaras then pop up. And then the spiritual student, aspirant, will be surprised to think, oh my God, where from these are coming? I never thought of these things. Ah, it was hiding there. How? In the form of deep impression in that mind itself, in the substratum, subconscious mind, and then pops up. So similarly, here, the spiritual joy or the devotion will grow. How? Because this association with the objects of the senses and its attachment, they always takes us away from God, the divine. Therefore, how to bring it back to ourselves? So that should be the sadhana. So it says, be careful. The 35 verse says, to attain supreme love, we have read on page 83, a man must renounce the objects of sense pleasures, as well also is attachment to it. You are to live in the world. You will eat food. You will see things. You will have all the five senses will be functioning and working. But attachment to them is the problem. In spiritual life, that is the thing which drags us again and again into the old orbit of our past habits and thoughts. So therefore, better renounce the sense object. That's why it's a drastic path. Even in devotion, it is necessary. No, if we think that it is only path of jnana, it is necessary, but of the path of devotion, it is necessary. Or any spiritual path, how to be drawn inward for God and how to detach from it is a necessity. Otherwise, it will be hypocrisy. Uh, Sri Krishna was a great psychologist and he tells us not to be hypocrites. What is the remedy? He suggests in the Bhagavad Gita that truly the admirable person controls his senses by his power of his will. All his actions are disinterested. All are directed along the path of union with Brahman. So Narada advocates not merely renunciation of the objects of the senses, sense pleasures, but attachment to them as well. That is very important. Not only that you avoid this, but also its attachment or association is thinking that you have to be careful. Now let it be, because someone will make up. So now the next verse, 36, we read.
If we keep on having attachment and connection, our samskara will build up, or our past life samskara is pulling us towards that.
That because we did it, but now what shall I do? Whatever past, I have no control. I'm done already. But now is the question what you can do. Will you brood over that? Will you encourage it? Will you put fuel into that so that it will be much more distracting? Okay, go on. That will be the path of the world. Because it is there already. So we should not put any fuel to it, rather to stop that attachment. So yes, in our samskara, it is there. Because of that, we are drawn into the world. No, we hear the life story of so many wonderful saintly persons in our Ramakrishna tradition, in every tradition, saints. So from their childhood, they never thought of any unholy thoughts. There are people, yeah, they never thought any unholy thought. It didn't creep into their mind. But we struggle with so many thoughts. It's okay. We have our past. That samskara is there. But we'll have to think that we should not add to that, any fuel to that, rather avoid it and rather detach. Even if it comes, it should be detached. That's why you eat ice cream with detached outlook. Okay, enjoy this and tell mind, okay, I've done it. Now finish. And tell mind, hey, you know what is the taste of it. So don't hanker for it again and again. Because everything will lead you to its consequences. So if you get attached to it, attached to the ice cream, attached to the sugar, attached to this, that is the consequence. Attached to drinking, that is this. Attached to gluttony, eating this food. Anything you get attached is a dangerous reaction is there in spiritual journey. And also physically, emotionally, it affects every area of our personality. Now, there's the second, this verse, we have just touched that verse, second 36th verse, that says that what is the easy way to do that? I will not think of this. I will not add fuel to this, my old thoughts. I will not go to the worldly things of attachment. But how shall I do it? My mind goes unrestrained. Though I want not to go there, but my mind is dragged. Some Arjuna asked this question to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. I want this, but balad evo niyojita. Someone is goading me, as it were, forcefully. From my mind, I find that someone as if is forcing me to think like that. Taking me, I don't know, I don't want it, but it drags me there. Balad. Then what to do? So this path is, some sages suggest that abhayavrito bhajana, keep your mind in bhajan, practice of repetition of the God's name, or singing the praise, singing the song and glories of the Lord. Read some prayers keep the mind engaged in some positive action. Here particularly says bhajan, means japa, meditation, prayer, singing, that type of thing. So supreme love is attained by uninterrupted, that should be uninterrupted, one point, and constant worship of God. That is the point. I do in the morning for 20 minutes, and out of that, 19 minutes goes in rambling over here and there. And then I sit in the noontime, maybe 5 minutes, or I do another. Oh no! Morning to noon, noon to afternoon, afternoon to evening, evening to night, night till you go to bed. There should not be any gap in between. Or vyabrito. Vyabrito means separate. One thought of God, another thought of God. There should not be any separation like that. Or vyabrito. Bhajan. Bhajan means praying, or doing repetition of the holy name, and the spiritual practices which is given by your guru, or you study from the books to follow. This is one. It is also bhajan, the studies, etc. Because we are trying to keep our mind in some noble thoughts, but it should be continuous. Continuous. Otherwise, result will depend upon if it is continuous or it is intermittent. Suppose if I want to go to San Diego from here, so if I do a Babrito, an uninterrupted drive, you will reach the first, is it not? And you interrupt your journey. You go from here, and before you get to the freeway 101, you enter into some restaurant and have some time and fun and joy and eat and sit and this. Then you remember, I have to go to San Diego. Okay. Then, okay, take the car and go in another exit. Then go for some movie and spend some time for there. And then, I'll have to go again, come. Okay, we'll reach San Diego. But when? How long? But suppose one who decides I'll have to reach this destination and takes the car out and in the freeway and focus totally uninterrupted movement.
Or even if I decide that I will pick up somebody and I will help that person to go to San Diego, and then I detour and take the exit, pick up another person, pick up. I'm helping them, but still my journey.
You are not helping. First, help yourself. If you really in a spiritual path, if you help yourself, really you will help others. Most of us do the mistake. I am helping others. Who are you to help? You are not a person know what to help. Rather, you misguide them with your misunderstanding about spirituality. First, you realize, Thakur said that go, andhenaiva niyamana yathanda, a dark, blind person leading another blind person. I am helping. But you can help. What skill you have, what spiritual knowledge, wisdom, inner insight. Unless then you can help. But not help. We are serving God. That's is that I cannot keep my mind 24 hours. Whenever I'm working for whom? I'm working for God. There also you are abbabrito, uninterrupted thought about God. That's why our philosophy, you meditate and do good to others. Do good to others does not mean that I can do any good to anyone. I am serving. Ramakrishna said, service to God, service to man, service to God. That spirit. So if that can be done, that is also help. Because who is capable of meditating? 1 day, 2 days you do, third day your head will be reeling, and then you will run to the psychotherapist and psychologist, and then to the hospital. So we are not fit for that. Therefore, this work as worship, that's also worship of God. You are meditating on God, upon God. You are working, I'm working for God, to please Him. So that is also a part of modern day. uninterpreted worship of. That is the verse number 36. That's very important. That's a positive way of how to get detached from the world and worldly attachment. Is keep your mind engaged in constant japa. Repeat the mantra mentally, continuously. And japa means also think of him who you are japa, whose name you are taking. You say Rama, 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 think that Rama is here. Rama is here. Rama is here. And keep the mind, Ramakrishna said, that major part of the mind should be drawn and connected here, internally. Huh? And this practice should be continuously done. And 37 verse also gives another suggestion. By hearing and singing the glory of the Lord, even while engaged in the ordinary activities of life. Huh? Yes, if you can do, sit in one place, totally absorbed, like you do the, what you call, uh, vigil day. Vigil day, you are getting 1 hour chance. What do? You forget everything. You loudly say the name of the Lord and you remain totally engrossed. Huh? That is the bhajana, abhyabrita bhajan. But when you come, by hearing and singing the glory of the Lord, you are not you are not doing yourself, but you are listening to. That's just now. Suppose we are listening what the scripture is saying. So this is a part of our sadhana. You keep your mind engaged in that, because that is linking you with God. And singing the glories. You sing sometimes, we see in the evening prayer, we chant the name. In the morning, we chant so many things. Singing the glories of Lord. And also, while engaged in other activities, you are cooking, you are cleaning, you are shopping, you are doing some office work, you are working on the computer, or you are doing some translation. Whatever you are doing, in that, while engaged in the ordinary activities, it's ordinary activity. People will say, what is spirituality? You are sitting in your office and working on the computer. What is spirituality in it? No? So no. It is also, that also is while engaged. While engaged, that time also listen to God's glories or hear and sing yourself. Like let the mind be focused there. Ramakrishna gave the example like the bird. He in the gospel you will find that picture. That one bird sitting on a egg, hatching. No, you see, he looks like this outside. He's looking, but you see, eyes are indrawn. He's on the egg. So let the mind be on egg, means our beloved Lord. And then you work in the world. Ramakrishna gave different examples, like a lover loves the beloved while working all activities outside. Outside work is going on, but mind is in the beloved. So similarly in spiritual life, lokeopi, in our ordinary activity time, in this plane of daily activity, loke, Bhagavat guna, guna means the glory of the Bhagavan, God, God's glory. Guna, Sravana, you can listen. So many good music, so many good prayers, and kirtana. You do yourself out loud, chant out loud. You out loud chant, or we in the kirtan day, here it happens. Now it is stopped because of this trouble. Otherwise, what? How many people come? And kirtan means you are participating into it. You are performing some song. When you are performing, all are enjoying that, listening. When you are performing, they are listening. When others are performing, you are listening. So this is the Sravana. Sravana means listening, and Kirtana means you are yourself out loud joining into the singing and making glorification of the Lord. So now this is the two ways against verse number 35. How the practical book, very important, not to read this book for reading only. Apply how to apply it. How can we be real devotees of God? Narada is suggesting that there are varied opinions about it, but different sages have defined that this is the way we detach from the sense objects, and the sense objects you give up, and also its attachment you give up. You can give up something, but mentally you can release more. You can give up, but you think more mentally. People do that. External renunciation, but internally enjoying or brooding over. That is dangerous. That is hypocrisy. And that is no religion. That's why nothing happens in life. What you are thinking, you really want God, whether that's the same. God and mammon. You cannot serve two together. You have to make that mammon as really is God in that mammon. If you can see, then you can do. God everywhere. So with that spirit you can do. But it is not so easy that you will look at the mammon as mammon and pamper that, and God also will come. We normally compromise our spiritual life here. Every day we are cheating ourselves. That's why it is said, no. Therefore, how to do that? Engage your mind. Why the mind going there? Because you're not, mind is getting some relaxed mood. So he does not find anything. He goes back to his own rut, where he found one time joy. No? Where you want to go when in life's trouble? Where I got some shelter. Suppose I am in great difficulty. Someone has lost his job and this and that, and in very difficult situation. So where his mind or her mind will go first? Okay, I was loved by my friend who has helped me. Okay, let me think of him, let me go to him, let me contact him. No. So in spiritual life also, when this world is, I am really getting attached and I don't want it because it is always dragging me, pulling me down. How to come out of that? I have to renounce these things. But where shall I take shelter? You cannot just stay in the void. So that's why these are the two verses next given, that Abhyabrita bhajana, by uninterrupted and constant worship of God. That's one. And second 37, by listening of the singing of the glory of God. When there is bhajan, kirtan, that's why we go to join different spiritual group, sankirtan, bhajan, singing. In every spiritual group, you see, you go to the churches, the music, what a beautiful music, and it makes your mind is pulled into it. And as a result, you forget the time. Your mind does not move anywhere. When a big church, I went to one mega church, and I found that there are about 40,000 people can be accommodated in that big stadium. And Joel Austin, I was looking at him, and he has that day, I do not count, but the entire stadium, it was almost more than almost half was full. So many thousands of people. And now they are about a beautiful choir group, and with singing in such, within few minutes with the vibration of the sound, your mind, you forget the whole world. You are carried into that. That is the way. You see, your mind will not go there. You are giving some substitute food to the mind. Spirituality is not emptiness. spirituality life is giving something positive fulfillment. Rather, giving the mind not the junk food, giving some healthy food. And healthy food will make a healthy mind, pure mind, and that mind will be new generated mind, which will aid us to spiritual illumination and attain bhakti, devotion. So by hearing and singing the glories of the Lord, when? Not only in the shrine time doing japa, but all day with whatever while engaged loke-opi, when you are doing mundane works, your chore works, going to shopping. It's not spiritual outwardly. Everyone is shopping. What is spiritual? If it is for God, then it becomes spiritual. How it will be for God? You are picking up this item, that item from the store. Huh? But I'm doing for Thakur, I'm doing for the Lord, I'm doing for the Lord. No? Then that is becoming spiritual. So if one can do it uninterruptedly, going to the shopping mall, putting into the car, and then driving it all the time in between, God's name, God's glory, then this mind will not go. Mind does not get an opportunity. How to go? You are keeping the mind engaged in the positive thing. Positive think of thought of God. That is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga, we are not all ready for Jnana Yoga. You have to give up. Finish. Don't talk about that. That means it's a very strong people can do. Just give up. But it's that we cannot. But we can deify it. Bhakti Yoga is deification. That how you put God into your actions, put God into your day-to-day life. So by hearing and listening the glory of the Lord, even while engaged in the ordinary activities of life, that is another method. Now, the Swami Prabhupada explains this. He says, this is the positive method, uninterrupted worship of God. Very simple language. People don't understand simple language. With complicated analysis, 20 words, jugglery, words are bombarded with big philosophical terminology. Then say, what a great message. But you don't take the ordinary food and you are talking about something which it runs over the head. Apply it. So it is said, this is the positive method. And what is that? It is the uninterrupted worship of God. You want to worship God? Do it this second, and the next second, and the next second, and the next second, and the next second. Like Toilo Dharavat. Our Patanjali also have described that you think of God, one thought, and the next thought, another thought. There should not be two gap in between. Like you pour oil from one container to the other. You see, as if a stream of oil is flowing, as if there is no gap between two drops. There are drops, is it not? But it is poured in such a way when you are pouring, but when the can becomes empty, then you turn one drop, another drop, and then much more when almost empty, then almost done, then you say one drop, 1 minute goes, last drop, one drop, another gap, another drop. So our thinking of God is like that. One drop now, another 1 hour, 2 hour goes. If I remember, even we don't remember. Morning we remembered. And then evening time I remember. In between I forgot. So no, the gap is so much. One drop and another drop. No gap in between two drops of thinking. 2 times thinking, one thought, next thought, next thought, next thought. It should be continuous, uninterrupted. In other words, to keep mind and heart in God constantly and unceasingly, is a state to be achieved. How? By practice of the spiritual disciplines. No one will just get it. I am a devotee, I'll get it today. No, you have to pay the price of it. It is devotees can get it in constantly and unceasingly in a state to be achieved by practice of spiritual disciplines. It is to be achieved only by spiritual discipline. Everyday practice, day and day, years after years. Some people say that, okay, I'm here for 2 years. 2 years what? 10 years is what? 20 years what? 50 years what? Do. Are you doing still after 20 years continuous thought? What has happened the result of 20 years initiation, 20 years of practice? When we meditate whole day, how many moments I am thinking and how many moments I am forgetting? So that means practice. Not to be disheartened, but this is the suggestion that it should be practice, and we can manage that by uninterrupted practice constantly and unceasingly is a stage to be achieved. We have to think that that is the goal I will have to achieve, and we have to work hard for that. Huh? Kastarati mayam. In another place, this Narada will say, who can cross the maya, the play, the drama going on in the world of pulling our mind into the world and worldliness? Who can get out? Ja sangan tajuti, ja mahanubhavam sevate. Those who give attachment to the world and worldliness, and positively those who serve holy people, holy scripture, meditate on this, they can achieve. So these are the methodology. So you walk with God, you eat with God, you sleep with Him, you then live always in the awareness of the presence of God. That's a beautiful subject. You eat with God. When you are eating, our Bhakti school says, Ahar karo, mune karo, ahuti dei shama mare, monoboli, bhajo kali. Oh my mind, I say, you worship Kali, Mother Kali. Ichha hoy tur je achare. In whatever way you want to do, you just ahar karo. You are eating. Eat. Don't think you are eating. You think Mother is here. You are offering Mother who is inside. It's a spiritual attitude. People will see that you are eating same fork and spoon you are using and you are putting into your tongue. But it is the sadhaka should engage the mind in God consciousness and say, Oh Lord, O Ma, O Ramakrishna, I am putting, you are in my heart. It is, I am offering to you. It's a very high spiritual practice. That's why he says, eat with him. Eat with him, sleep with him. You go to bed. Think that you're lying at the feet of the mother. Just after whole day's tiredness, you are like a child, and Mother, Divine Mother is there, just lying at her feet. Who has stopped you thinking like that? Eat with him, sleep with him or her. Walk with him. We are walking alone. You think it is, oh Lord, you are in my heart. I am walking with you. To feel, to think. Spiritual life is thinking, deep thinking. You walk with God, you eat with Him, you sleep with Him. You then live always in the awareness of the presence of God. Whatever you are doing, you think, I'm never alone. Oh Lord, you are with me. You are with me. And then he says, Brother Lawrence, in the book Practice of the Presence of God, very much well recommended. for studying in spiritual life. Our Swamis, our President Maharaj used to suggest that. Swami Bireshwarananda used to give us, when we join, to read this book, Brother Lawrence's book, or Practice of the Presence of God. And what he was doing, she says in the book, in order to know God, we must often think of Him. And when we come to love Him, we shall then also think of Him often, for our heart will be with our treasure. First, we try to think of Him, no? And when you fall in love with Him, then even you need not to make an effort. It will make you think. As in the human love, what happens? Someone falls in love with someone, love at first sight, or romantic love. What happens? First, you love, but that love, it becomes so intense, then you need not have to think. Your mind will go there. You don't like or like is not the question. Mind will go there. So now substitute here with God. So you think of Him, try to love Him, and then love will carry you to force you to think of Him spontaneously. Yes, you are saying anything?
So what if during the day you do japa, but sometimes it may be mechanically? Does that count as an uninterrupted?
Yeah, first we'll start with that. First we do it mechanically. Yeah, maybe it's good if we can do it with emotion, with feeling, with presence, and take His name. Feel His name, take His name, feel His presence. That's the best. But if I not, it's much better to take His name. At least I am struggling, and my name must create an impression in the mind. No? You say, you think, I give you a name, a dog. Immediately see, your mind, whether you like or dislike, a shape of a dog is in your mind thought, no? You're imagining something like that. And if you just say, Ramana Maharshi, I say Buddha, I say Christ, see? One word. Instantly you see an impression of Christ, whatever you have, the impression of the divine Sri Ramana Maharshi, I said, the holy man, his picture will come in. So that's the practice. First it becomes mechanical, and mechanical, but added with the devotion, it becomes more intense. And then gradually in one day, and God helps us, no? As Ramakrishna always said, if anyone moves towards me one step, I go 10 steps towards him. Sri Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, what he says, quote, when a yogi has meditated upon me unceasingly for many years with an undisturbed mind, I am easy to access to him because he is always absorbed in me. If one is done continuously this practice with absorption, with love, with affection, then God says, I am easy to. And Tesha Mahang Samuddarta, they say, then I take charge of them. Tesha Mahang Samuddarta, Mrityu Samsara Sagarat. From the ocean of this birth and death, I will take charge of him and I will lift him to my own self. So it is the assurance of God. It is possible, only condition, only unceasingly. We chant every day. Chant the name of the Lord, and this what is the morning prayer. And His glories unceasingly. Take the name of the Lord. Everyone takes the name of the Lord. But not that condition. Chant the name of the Lord and chant the name and also His glories unceasingly, so that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire. What is in the heart? I want this, I am unsatisfied, I am dissatisfied. Where shall I get peace? it will quench. So the same idea, it is Sri Chaitanya prayer. Sri Chaitanya is praying himself and gave us the verses so that we remember every day. But how many times we chant, but we focus on these words. Chant the name of, it's our duty to do. It's duty. So it's a duty to in the morning after meditation we chant the name of the Lord and go. Yes, that's good. But do you think that is unceasingly I am to do? Or with love I am to do and make it my own? So now it takes many years of practice to become established in the thought of God with an undisturbed mind. You may not be successful at the beginning, but it takes long time. What does not take long time? The acrobats, athletes, how long they practice and how much energy they spend in their achieving that goal, no? But they do that because they have to reach their goal. So we have a greater goal in human life to achieve the highest, to reach that flight of total absorption in God. So we should have to continuously do that, unceasingly, uninterruptedly. That is the point, emphasis here. Uninterruptedly, unceasingly. That's why it takes many years. We should be ready. Don't expect that by magic you will get tomorrow something. If you get it, maybe your good karma have, or it may be some hallucination. People get quick fix spirituality, samadhi. But samadhi does not stay. That samadhi does not transform. Many people go to many spiritual people, spend thousands of dollars, retreat and this. They come out, when they come back, the same man, same person. Is a transformed person? If transformed, that's okay. But how many get transformed? Just going there, spending money, and getting some momentary excitement, that can be anywhere. You can get momentary excitement in devotion also, momentary excitement in your meditation also. Like touching something and you can get immediately, you feel something like, you felt something. Did it transform you? Did it transform your life? For your full satisfaction? And you now think that, my God, I am no more attached to any worldly thing. My mind does not go there. I don't like the association of the worldly people to be engaged in day and night with world and talk. Is it transforming you? Then it is okay. Do that. But most of us don't pay attention to that. And people running. They're running, their genuine search is there. But the expectation is to quickly get something, quickly get samadhi. Okay.
What I was saying more is that even if it is little, even whatever, having the faith in God, that I know it's not lost. I'm not seeing it, but what do I know and how much?
You need not. That's why we say in devotion, don't calculate those things. Just go on loving and enjoy your spiritual life. If you have forgotten God, now think. You need not have to repent. Oh, I did not do. Why did I do? You are spending this present moment, precious moment. Think of God. Feel His presence. That's all. So simple. Spirituality is very simple. But we make it too much complicated. If I forgot, for some reason, that's my past samskaras, just I remembered. Why not I start repeating the holy name and feeling the presence and pray to get more strength. And oh Lord, please help me. You know I am your helpless child. Please help me. You are all powerful. Lift me. Sincere prayer. Thakur said, no, Ramakrishna said, cry with the tearful eyes. Sincerely say, this is my condition. So you know my condition. I am not like any holy person who have been all perfected. I have my imperfections. So help me, guide me. You say that you will come 10 steps. Where is your movement? Maybe you are coming, I don't understand. Huh? That's why, make me understand. That was the point. When the 1st of January, Ramakrishna uh, did all this touch and everything, everyone got the highest illuminations and things. That is life transforming, you see. Everyone came to Ramakrishna on the 1st of January and Ramakrishna touched. Their life was transformed. But one guy could not come. He came later on and he is begging Ramakrishna, please, you have given your touch, so give me the touch. Then Ramakrishna said very beautifully, no, 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 you have already got it. He was very intelligent. He said, you say that I got it, I don't disagree with you, but let me feel, let me understand that really I have it. And then he gave a touch. Ramakrishna is a person, he can transform instantly. That don't expect that will in our life one Ramakrishna will come. And if he comes, then I'll be going to hospital, psychiatric hospital. Because my nervous system is not pure to hold that high spiritual energy. That's why he had to come back. That person, after 3 days, he saw God everywhere. As soon as Ramakrishna touched, and that became constant, incessant vision. With eyes open, with a walking tram car coming. He does not see tram car, he sees the God. In the stand, in the tram lane, in the road, he's standing there. He opens his accounts book. He was an accountant in an office. Opens, he does not find anything, no accounts, and he's seeing God there. Eating glass of water, he sees God there. Morsel of food, God. Closing eyes, God. Opening eyes, God. 24 hours unceasingly, it has come by Ramakrishna's grace. But we should not crave for that because we are not fit for that. After 3 days, this gentleman had to come back to Ramakrishna and said, Sir, please, you take back what you have given. I cannot manage it anymore. I'm running crazy. How can you do day and night without sleep, without anything, with eyes closed? Constantly that presence, divine presence is so powerful. That means our nerves cannot take that high energy. As I give the common example, this wiring is made for 110 to 220 or something volt. No? If you pass 1000 volt, what will happen to the wires and all these connections? You see, smelling, it's getting warm up, it is heated, no? Burning, no? So that's why the mind that cannot accept that much energy. So that's why everyday meditation makes our nerves purer and purer and purer. That's why Saptiko nerves, it's called Medha Nadi, nerve center, whose name is Medha. That generates in you. If you are celibate, you are leading a pure life and you are thinking of God every day with your effort and constantly trying that, it will generate in you. Then higher current you can absorb. Your body will be able to absorb that shock. So this is the value of practice every day. That's why wait. That's why it says, and it takes many years of practice to become established in the thought of God with an undisturbed mind. We say, oh, my mind is this. That is okay. Don't worry about that. It takes a long time to reach that goal. As it is not that we are saying this. It is Patanjali, the sage, ancient sage Patanjali, the great yogi Patanjali says, practice becomes firmly grounded when it has been cultivated for a long time, uninterruptedly with earnest devotion. Sacha dirghakala naidantarja satkara sevita dridhabhumi. How long I am to practice spiritual discipline? In the Patanjali, in the yoga philosophy, there he says, Shatu, Shatu. This practice, Shatu, Dirghakala. Long time. He's not saying 5 years, 10 years, 3 years, 2 years. No. Dirghakala. He is not giving any limited time period. Depending on you, how you can do, how quickly you will reach a goal, how continuously you are running towards that goal. No? As I said, interrupted journey will take you longer time. So Satu Dirghakala Nairantarja, Nirantar, uninterrupted. And third, Satkara Sevito. You are doing your spiritual practice. I don't like it, but I have to do, otherwise what others will say. I don't like to get out of the bed. What can I do? Someone will say, hey, you didn't come to meditation today, this morning. I don't see you. Huh? Okay, I go. As if with much pain I am coming. Not that. It should be Satkara Sevito. With all joy. Oh, I have to meditate. Excitement. I'll go for meditation today. Now I'm delayed. I'll go. Your excitement, joy will be there. As if I am delayed. I am running for getting some. See, if someone gives you a time for a good meal, and invited you, and you are delayed. How you become restless? Hey, I'm delayed. Sorry. Yeah, I am delayed. Please wait for me. No. So heart will be springing in joy that I will go to meditate in the morning. Not that, okay, I sleep from this side to this side. And then someone comes, hey, get up. Okay. Right.
But I also run, but with that, I will get late for others, others will be waiting, not that I will be busy.
So that is to be brought. Thakur is waiting for me. If we bring in the morning, if you want to open the shrine, then you will have to think, Thakur, I have to get up, I'll put the Lord to bed. Somebody put it. I have to raise him from the bed. So I have to go. Otherwise, he will be late. So bring some identification, close connection with God, and love for that. Or, I'll have to go again every day. It is dark night now. Now it is dark, 5 o'clock, 5:30. I have to take a shower now in this cold. Okay, and then I go, what can I do? I'll have to come and again open today also and tomorrow also. No? With pain and agony or with joy in your heart. So the Patanjali says you should have joy in your heart. Satkara sevito. With love, affection. Do your japa and feel that, I am happy by doing japa. I meditated a little. I listened to this talk. Oh, I read this book and my mind is swelling high. I did some bhajan. I did some kirtan. No? Feel joy in that. So these are the 3 conditions he's given. Satkara sevita. Satu dirghakala. Long time practice. Don't murmur. Don't grumble. I am doing for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. What that? 50 years is nothing. You have millions of life's bad experiences in your mind. All has been in the deep samskara and subconscious mind. Why? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years is what time? And did you do continuous? Satkara sevito satu dirghakala noirantajo. Did you practice all the time? 50 years of my spiritual life. I got initiated 50 years. Okay, what is that? How many moments I connected with God in 50 years? Calculate. Every day, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. Even not. We may sit for meditation, but really connected with God, how many seconds? So that means it needs more patience. Patience, perseverance. Swami Vivekananda said, to get success in anything, you need patience, perseverance, and another one, purity. Purity, patience, perseverance. Beautiful word. Swamiji has coincided the word. In success in any, and spiritual life, of course. Purity. Are you pure? Means, are you thinking of God? Pure, only God is pure. Everything is under Maya. So that is impure. So purity and perseverance, hold on, and
Patience.
eh,
Patience.
patience and perseverance. Hold on, don't give up. Failure, I didn't get it, don't give up. Oh, I tried 10 years, it is not. That's it, people go. Someone is calling me today. I want to go to this retreat. When this retreat is happening in your center? I mean, now we are closed, but center retreat is what? You can have everyday retreat. No, you want to retreat, special retreat. Okay, that's good, special retreat. But we have to do continuous retreat. I remember when I was a young boy, and their Durga Puja was there in Belur Math. No, I was in volunteer, and I relished that voluntary work, because bringing fruits and candies for the Lord, for the Mother Durga, and then making garland and collecting flowers, and very engaged in doing the, and that young mind is so excite, so much excitement. But when mother was put to the river, mother is put to the river, and that night uh, I was in the Belur Math and walking, and one Swami just suddenly saw me. I said, "Hey, I didn't see you for a few days." Maharaj, I was here, but in the voluntary, in the puja kitchen and other things. I got so much joy. I was excitedly telling him that it's so joy, so much joy I enjoy, I experienced. Huh? And then he said, "Brother, this is not only the joy for the period of this special time of worship, Divine Mother. It should be 365 days constant with you. Try that." This is the thing. It should be yours. Because of certain situation going on, and you join in that the ceremony, and you find excitement, that is good. But that excitement should continue all through the life. So this is the success. So
How is it that you can stay in me at all times?
I just try that. That goal is to be always like that. You cannot do that, then nothing can be done. You, at the very beginning, if you say you cannot reach that and that cannot stay there, why? People, if you totally forget yourself and do for God, that itself is a sadhana. How we forget ourselves. Shankara points out a great truth, that if a man struggles sincerely and earnestly for the supreme goal, he is already as good as Siddha, a perfected soul. You are struggling, that itself proves that you are becoming perfected. Struggling for perfection is perfection. Shankara says, struggling for perfection in our spiritual life, that itself is perfection. Now, the question, how can we arrive at the state in which we shall be able to keep the mind and heart in God uninterruptedly? The methods are varied. Meditation upon God in any chosen aspect by the aspirant, chanting the names of the Lord, ritualistic performance of worship, singing praises of the Lord, study of the scriptures, and meditation upon the meaning conveyed therein, service to God's devotees, service to God in mankind, doing one's allotted duties as acts of worship, all these, as well as any special practice given by one's own spiritual teacher, these are the methods which will lead the aspirant to the goal. So you can take any path. You do ritualistic worship, you sing the praises of God, and you repeat the service to human beings, service to God, service to and allotted duties, whatever in your life, what is the duty, performing them. All these are all special means. Sri Ramakrishna gives many illustrations to show how an aspirant can keep his mind in God, even though he may be engaged in the other's duties. So he gives example, Ramakrishna, give one example. A village maiden carrying water on her head, well balanced, with her mind concentrated on the water vessel, yet at the same time gossiping with other women. You have seen that they take some few vessels of water, no? Pots of water, one after another. You Rajasthani girls, the women, there is a scarcity of water. So they have to go long distance and they collect water in different vessels and carry on their head. No, they are not holding even, not touching. Like one soft piece of cloth, they put it here and put one after another after another, and like gymnastic in acrobatic play. And they are talking like that, going like, bringing the water for mile, maybe 1 mile they are walking. And with all the jars there and talking, hello, how are you, and what happened to your family, and this and that. So but their whole mind is their balance, how the water does not fall down. So that is the example. One's mind should be, whatever you are doing, mind should be there in God. Ramakrishna gave another example, that his chaste wife, awaiting her husband's arrival, with her mind concentrated on him, while at the same time cooking meals and nursing her baby. So doing other things, but mind is engaged in her husband. So that how you can keep one mind, whatever your hand is doing, your feet is walking, or activity going on outside, your part of the mind should be in the thought of the Lord. So I will continue this next day. So these two verses explanation. So it is pointing out that sincerity and effort, that is the point, patience, perseverance, and holding on to the ideal, not be restless. So purity, patience, and perseverance, these are the ideas to be taken. Okay, I'm over now, but we have some question again. It seems that the intensity of the sanskaras are sometimes high and sometimes low by itself. How can we have more conscious control over it? Does it only depend on the grace of the Divine Mother? That is said, yes, intensity of our sanskaras, which forbade us not to think of God, or get engaged in world and worldliness, is really sometimes up, sometimes down, more, sometimes less. But only what we read just now. Whatever happens to the mental condition, we'll have to continue. We'll have to practice sincerely, holding on our principle. Because I tried, I failed, that is not the point. I will try again. I will try again. Continuously, as we say, we have discussed just now. So the answer is given just now, we finished. Trouble will be there. I'll not find much taste for it, but we'll have to generate taste for it. Whenever I meditate with love. If I miss the meditation, I'll think, oh my God, why did I miss it? I'll have to go. I'll have to do it now. I'll have to do. Such some urge should be there. And sincerity and love should be there. Our practice. And God's grace will come. We need not have to look at why God is not gracious. Rather, we have to look why I am not calling upon Him more. So that should be the effort. So Mother's grace, of course, it will come automatic, but our effort is more important. That we emphasize in our Vedanta. Okay? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Paramastu. So thank you all, and then we'll see you again at 7:30 p.m. on the nectar of supreme knowledge. Thank you all. Oh, today is what?
Wait, today's her birthday?
English calendar wise.
According to English calendar, Mother was born today, English calendar. What is today? 22nd December. In 1853, Mother was born, in date-wise, English calendar-wise. But we celebrate according to moon calendar. That will be on the next Sunday, next Sunday.
So that's the official then. The moon.
And now you observe that day. Okay, thank you.
So the lunar is the official.
Lunar is the official.
Is the actually she was born on
In
that
India,
day.
yeah.